Hello, everyone, and welcome to my reading of The
I'm
Quest
here
for the
too.
Diamond Sword, with some other people accompanying me for whatever reason. I don't know, it's not a good idea. With this beautiful image of Steve in the background. Let's just start while reading the back while Cole's, yelled at by his mom. Calvin, please stop harassing
That
your
was
microphone.
wait, Liam's being yelled at though.
Yeah, whatever, I don't know. From the harrowing world of Minecraft, join Steve as he tries to save his village. Also, I'm really bad at reading. This might be like a couple
Okay.
chapters. I don't know how long we'll go
Okay,
for.
well if you can show me the book, I can read it.
Well, I can't do that because I
Yes you can.
no I can't.
Yes you can.
How would I?
I'd have to leave because my mom is super pissed and I'm in her room.
Oh.
What is that?
Okay, well we're starting the recording. I did the epic introduction. Now we're gonna read the back. Steve lives
You
on a
already
wheat
read the
farm.
back.
He has everything he needs to live in a Minecraft world. A bed, a house, and food. Steve likes to spend his mornings in the village and trade his wheat for emeralds, armor, books, swords, and food. One night he discovers zombies attacking the villagers. The zombies turn the village blacksmith into a zombie, leaving Steve without a place to get swords.
Ba ba ba.
To protect himself and the few villagers who remain, Steve goes on a quest to mine for 40 diamonds, which are the most powerful.
Entire boat.
Wait. Steve goes on a quest to mine for 40 diamonds. Why 40? Which are the most
Why
powerful
exactly
mineral
40?
in the
Why does he have a
overworld.
specific
He wants to craft these diamonds into a diamond sword to shield him and the villagers from the zombies.
Well why
On his
doesn't he
quest,
just need
Steve...
two diamonds?
Glue gun?
Not 40?
Oh, I don't know why he needs 40. I don't think these people have played Minecraft before. On his quest, Steve meets a trio of treasure hunters, Max, Lucy, and Henry, who are trying to
So
unearth
while
the
he's in the
treasure
cave,
under
he
a
needs
temple. The treasure hunters are eager to join him on his adventure, but danger lurks around every corner, in every temple, and near every spawning mob. Will Steve find the diamond? I just enjoyed.
Why am I here?
I love that sentence. Will Steve find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
I would be cool with it if he just. Why is he mining 40?
No. Will Steve find the diamonds? Will his friends help or hinder the search? Should he trust his new treasure hunter friends? And will Steve get back in time to save the villagers? Winter Morgan, that's the person who wrote
Is
this.
Cole even still here?
I think his mom killed him. Winter Morgan is not a real person. It's the pen name for an author of numerous kids' books and books for adults. The author does have a
We don't have to read
Minecraft.
the entire back cover.
The author does have a Minecraft-addicted son who inspired the story, and a daughter who is very accommodating since her little brother monopolized the computer creating mods and mining for diamonds. She lives in Brooklyn, New York. Okay, I will start off by saying, okay, if it's made by his son, I'm not surprised.
My mom walked in on that sentence and got like really confused.
What sentence?
The sentence where he talks about mining diamonds.
The chapters are like 7 pages. This will be easy.
Really?
Okay,
Okay, well I'm gonna go grab some food. I'll be right back.
you better be quick. So this is just waiting here. Now I gotta do commentary by myself, which is always bad. It's really bad. Oh, but the kind of like sub things. Wait, let me make sure I'm recording. I think I'm recording. Yeah, I'm recording. I think. Hello, I'm recording. Uh, the subtitles are an unofficial gamer's adventure. Oh, it's also book 1. Please don't say I have to go out in public to buy this book 2. And also, Steve is blonde in the cover, but his like facial hair is like brown. But I don't know. I don't get it. Does he dye his facial hair? And also, There's another subtitle for it. An unofficial Minecrafter's novel. I'd consider myself a Minecrafter. So this is just the novel for me, I guess. Ages 7 to 12. Well, I'm 13. Guess I can't read this book. But I'm gonna break the law and do it anyways. Wait, did somebody just harass their mic and get back? Hello? Nope. Nope. Somebody being yelled at. Can these people speed it up? Like, seriously, I just wanna read my Minecraft book, you know, post some good content, and then be done with the day. Oh, it does have dog ears in it. Oh, that means I've read this before. Oh, that kind of hurts me. Oh. Guess I can read the chapter titles. So, Chapter 1, Life on the Farm. Chapter 2, Something Goes Wrong. Chapter 3, Down the Hole. Chapter 4, Treasure Hunters in the Temple. Chapter 5, Booby Traps. Chapter 6, Dungeons and Explosions. Chapter 7, Caves, Storms, and Other Threats. What? What'd you say?
I'm back.
Okay, you're back. Should I start reading?
Should we wait for Cole?
I think Cole might have been killed by his mom. Dude.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess I'll start. He won't be missing much. Steve, or Life on the Farm, Chapter 1. Steve wasn't a risk-taker. He lived a simple life on a flourishing wheat farm, where he grew carrots, potatoes, and pumpkins, and bred pigs. Afternoons were spent talking to Elliot the blacksmith or Avery the librarian, who lived in the nearby village. In the village, he'd trade wheat and coal for emeralds. He used the emeralds to adorn the walls of his home. Yet that morning, he decided to head to town and exchange some of his extra emeralds for iron. Steve wanted to craft iron armor. Although he never planned on using it, he was cautious and knew it was important to have armor. He also liked crafting things. Elliot was in... I don't know how long I'll be able to take it. Like, it's just thinking of the idea of a Minecraft book. Who thought this was a good idea? And who decided to follow through? Elliot was in his shop when Steve arrived and said, "Hi, Steve. Looking for more emeralds?" No, Steve took out the emeralds. "I have too many. I'd like to exchange them for iron ingots." What'd you say?
They're Fortnite books.
Fortnite? I like
There
Fortnite.
are Fortnite books.
There are Fortnite books?
Yes, there are.
I don't think I'm gonna make it that far. I'd like to exchange them for iron ingots. What are you going to do with the iron? Elliot asked. Trying to turn the page here. It's difficult. As he gave Steve the blocks. "Build another golem? You were so nice to build that for our village." "Thanks, but I wanted to craft armor," replied Steve. "Are you going on an adventure?" Elliot couldn't believe his ears. Steve was the last person he'd expect to want armor or go on an adventure. Wait, is this just like the Hobbit, but in Minecraft? Maybe it's from the dwarves' perspective, because he wants to take the diamonds to free his homeland or whatever. I don't know. I hope not, Steve smiled. "I just thought it would be good to have some in my inventory." "Enjoy crafting, Steve." Elliot gave him the iron ingots. On the way home, Steve ran into Avery the librarian, who said, "You should come by the library, Steve. We have lots of new books in." "I can't today," he told her. "I'm crafting armor." "How exciting!" exclaimed Avery. "Are you planning an adventure?" "You know me," Steve
It doesn't
remarked.
take a day to craft armor.
"I like to stay out of trouble and stick close to home. Sometimes people don't plan adventures, they just happen." Avery had read every adventure tale in the library. She loved those stories. "That's true," Steve smiled at Avery. "But I'd rather just keep the armor in my inventory and read about adventures in books." Wow, what a life. Steve crafted his iron armor. He tried it on and walked around his house. "I must look like a warrior." he said to himself as he put the armor away and took a short walk before dusk. Steve would never
How I feel
venture
with the
out at
robot.
night. Wait, what? You feel like a grandma?
Napkin.
A what?
It was just tossed a napkin.
Oh, okay. Napkin? Steve would never adventure out at night. He knew that was when creepers would attack him. Yeah, you better watch out for those creepers, Steve. His farm wasn't far from the water, and he walked over and looked over at the enormous blue ocean as he wondered what land might be on the other side. He had never hopped on a boat to find out. I just ate a bunch of food, so I'm really full, so talking is difficult. If Steve had an adventure story to tell, it would be about the time he once tamed an ocelot. Lost in the vast unexplored jungle, surrounded by bushes deep in the jungle biome, Steve spotted an animal racing past him toward an overgrown patch of grass and weeds. As the animal's pace slowed, he could make out its yellow fur and covered in black and brownish spots. It was a wild ocelot. The ocelot's piercing green eyes stared menacingly at Steve. He just muted himself? Oh, okay. The ocelot's piercing green eyes and stared menacingly at Steve. Steve's heart skipped a beat. He wanted to tame this wild beast. He offered the feline raw fish, which the hungry ocelot eagerly accepted. With each bite, the ocelot transformed into a tame animal. Slowly, the cat's skin took on a ginger tone, and it resembled a typical tabby cat. The ocelot's tail shrunk significantly, and it was no longer feral. Steve named the ocelot Snuggles. He'd be the first to admit he felt safer on the farm with Snuggles. As everyone knows, ocelots scare off creepers. That's information to pass from a gamer to another gamer. Nothing's happened so far. He's just gonna, go to the blacksmith to trade in his emerald for iron to craft some iron armor. Because he's a scrub and doesn't have iron armor. Yet he's, settled in. Also, who can play Minecraft
Cole, did you know there are Fortnite books?
I knew there were Fortnite books because I found them at the library.
I would kind of want to get one to read one, but they're probably really boring like this.
They're just boring, guys.
Oh, gross. You can
Oh,
just
I mean,
look
like,
that
there's
up.
Fortnite chapter.
Steve knew that if you were careful, you could avoid running into any creepers, skeletons, spiders, silverfish, zombies, and other hostile mobs whose sole purpose was to attack. In fact, Steve had helped secure the village from a zombie attack. He built a fence all the way around the village and placed torches along the main street so all the land inside the wall was brightly lit day and night. This way, he could be sure that zombies wouldn't spawn in his village. As Elliot the blacksmith mentioned, Steve had also built an iron golem to protect them. He placed iron blocks in a pumpkin on the ground and watched as the tough, mighty beast got to its feet. As Steve watched the monstrous stone creature lumber toward the village, he was sure it would be able to keep him and his villager friends safe from the zombies and other mobs. When he wasn't protecting his home from predators, Steve spent his time making coal out of wood.
Guess who's back?
Let me guess. It's Steve from Minecraft.
Oh,
Hello, Steve from Minecraft. How are you doing today? No, when he wasn't protecting, blah blah blah, he spent his time making coal out of wood. Oh boy, that sounds like a lot of fun. He traded the coal with Elliot the blacksmith for pickaxes, which he used for mining. He also traded... What else do you do with pickaxes?
I knew it!
I don't know,
Say
it's a
that again. Say that again.
He also traded, Elliot the blacksmith for pickaxes, which he used for mining. What else do you use pickaxes
Would use
for?
it to cut down trees. I don't know.
Epic.
But you guys thinking.
I'm thinking no. He also traded his wheat for cookies from John the village farmer. When he mined for gold, he usually traded it for books with Avery the librarian. between the villagers and the farm, he had all his needs provided for safe and place for wait. Between the villagers and the farm, he had all his needs provided for and a safe place to sleep every night. That's not English. Excuse me, Winter Morgan. That isn't even your real name, but still, I don't know.
Do a proper English.
I don't know. I can't do that for you, sir. He loved coming back to the farm and hearing Snuggles meow as his ocelot relaxed in the greenery. When night began to fall, Steve immediately got into his wool bed. Nighttime was the most vulnerable time. As the sun sank into the sky, the shadows grew and the well-lit areas became darker until Steve's village was the only place bright enough that the mobs wouldn't spawn there. But outside the walls, he could also hear the zombies groaning and the strange skittering sounds of spiders. That's what they sound like. If you weren't in your bed, no. If you weren't in your bed when night fell, you were pretty much an open target. But a well-built bed would keep you safe until daybreak. When dusk... This is just telling you how Minecraft works. I know how Minecraft works.
Yeah.
I'm a gamer. I've been playing for a while. This is really boring. Hopefully stuff happens. I want a refund. Steve was safely in bed at his farm. Once Steve saw a tall, dark Enderman with a purple aura when he was out at dusk, but he knew not to stare. He safely made his escape and learned his lesson. When the lights began to dim, it was time to go home. There was no reason to take chances. But that night, as Steve slept in the comfort of his bed, he heard strange noises coming from the village. The villagers were in trouble, and as Steve listened to the groans and the sound of wood breaking, he knew it could only be one thing: a zombie attack! He tried to convince himself that he was just hearing things and they were fine, but the noises wouldn't stop. So he had PTSD over a Minecraft zombie attack. I hope that's I kind of want to look that up. But the noises wouldn't stop. He imagined going into town and seeing the villagers turned into zombies. And he grabbed his clock to see how much time he had before morning. It was still so early. When you sleep through the whole day and nothing happens. Did you even play Minecraft? Steve clutched his clock tightly, wondering if he could wait until morning. But as he felt the clock tick in his hands and heard the villagers cry, Steve knew he had to help right away. And since Elliot knew that Steve had the armor, he was probably waiting helplessly for Steve to attack the zombies. He just wanted to be safe, I guess. I don't know. The other villagers were also Steve's good friends. He liked villagers better than other explorers like him because they couldn't be griefers and couldn't harm him.
They just mentioned the griefers.
Yeah, I met some griefers the other day. They had jobs and lived and worked together in the village, growing their crops and making useful things to trade. They followed predictable routines and never strayed far from home, but they helped one another and never caused any havoc in his life. Griefers were wanderers who spent their time playing pranks on other explorers and generally making trouble. Ugh, griefers, am I right?
Sounds like me.
They intentionally did bad things to other people to steal more stuff for themselves. Hey, yeah. I was a griefer once. I don't want to tell the whole story. I might say it for another date, but I don't want to say the words, but I was in a Steven Universe Minecraft roleplay server. And Ike and I were griefing people, and we would, like, steal from them and, like, put an item in their chest and say, like, oh, Ike and Roxy Scoots were here, because that was my username at the time. And then, like, one person, we found their, like, brewing stand, and they had Sanic Speed in it, and we drank it. And when you hit like any of the directional keys, you'd go like 15 blocks in a direction. It was hilarious. And there were like stairs that had no railings, and we just kept falling off, and dying. It's hilarious. Anyways, there were some griefers who just picked on folks because they thought it was fun and they liked tricking people. They'd use TNT to destroy a house or lie and say they needed help and then attack. Steve didn't want to lose his house or his stuff to any griefers, so he was careful not to trust. So he's careful not to trust anyone but his villager friends. And now zombies were attacking them. Steve had to help. He tried to convince himself that the iron golem could handle the zombies, but the desperate cries from the villagers meant the golem wasn't powerful enough to defeat the zombies on its own. Or even worse, something had happened to the stone creature. Steve thought of Avery and the books he had gotten from her. He could imagine a zombie overpowering her as she raced through the streets in her flowing white robe. He wondered if the zombies were destroying John the farmer's crops.
I'm gonna eat my illegal egg.
You're gonna what? Excuse me, sir?
Illegal.
It's not illegal.
Oh, your illegal
I don't
egg.
care. I'm gonna call it illegal.
You're an illegal egg. I don't know. He wondered if the zombies were destroying John the farmer's crops. He imagined Elliot trying to hide in the blacksmith shop from the vicious monsters. The cries grew louder, and the images of his friends being attacked by zombies swirled around in his panicked mind. Steve knew he had to help them, and if he didn't do something heroic soon, he would be a no-good coward who let the village get destroyed.
He has to save John the farmer.
You big meanie head, you didn't save John the farmer. Although it defied all of his instincts to avoid danger, Steve threw off his covers and got out of bed. He checked the room for spiders and creepers, then went to his chest to get ready. For the first time, he suited up in all the armor he had made, which he loved having, but never thought he'd use.
Opening my illegal egg.
Oh, that's why it's illegal, you nerd. Luckily, Steve had a well-stocked inventory. Since he never battled, he just collected armor of swords. Wait. Since he never battled, he just collected armor of swords and other tools to protect himself. He took out his compass, iron sword, bow, and arrows from his inventory. Then he paused and grabbed his special gold sword, just in case he needed it. Gold swords are trash. His hands shook. His heart raced. He was scared. It was the moment that Steve had always feared, and now he was living it. I kind of don't want to read it. This is really boring.
It is really boring.
I kind of regret having this idea.
You know what? We gotta do it for the memes.
Well, I'm gonna stop this recording. What, Mom? I couldn't hear. I'm gonna stop the recording here so I can, like, post one video because I don't know. I just don't want to do it all at once. Okay. Bye. There'll be a part 2 eventually.